story.
So I would be interested in seeing his biopic.
I think
in the
Hobo
future.
Johnson's gonna get one.
Interesting.
Is Hobo? Is Justin Bieber part of our generation? I thought he was a generation a little before us.
He's part of our generation.
Tight shit, yeah.
All
I
right.
don't.
He's
I
older
don't-
than me, I think.
So
y'all
that's
ready?
why I don't. That's why I don't think he's part of our generation technically.
He's part of our generation.
Yo, what is up, sleepers? It's your boy Ed Bennett here, live in a generation. Who do I have with me in these generations?
You have Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Wow, that's a genre-defining generation. Who else do we have?
You
with us?
You got Alexi Backstab.
Yeah.
Alexi
What?
Backstab. Who else do we have with us?
I didn't do nothing.
You got Lucario.
We got
Carrying the
Lucario,
team.
Sun God Valcarona with us. All right,
yeah.
Sun God Luffy.
Sun God Luffy. Who?
They forfeited.
There will be timestamps in the description for our review if anyone wants to skip ahead to that. But for now, let's buy some tickets and grab our favorite concessions. So we're just gonna jump into it because this is gonna be a shorter episode. I don't have as much time, so let's dive into it. What are you guys' thoughts before watching the new?
I was excited.
Michael movie?
I was excited because I've been enjoying a lot of the biopics that we've been having lately.
I'm sick of them.
Why? They're typically pretty good and pretty informative a lot of
There's
times.
so many of them, bro.
No,
Are
isn't.
there? I don't think there was that many so
I think
far.
we've only seen
Well,
three in
there's
like,
but there's
4
a few
years.
that we haven't watched.
but we haven't watched them though. So what's the matter? we
Like,
haven't
they
seen
should,
them.
They should actually come up with actual fucking movies instead of just doing little history lessons on people.
I
And
enjoy them.
and they're like dramatized. It's not like it's a
Yeah.
biography.
Still, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I was interested in watching this movie. It came as a surprise to me that it was happening. I was like, what? So I was like, let's go.
It's because we don't feel like he's that old, I guess. I don't know. Compared to the other ones they've been doing.
Doesn't feel that long ago.
Exactly. That's probably why.
So, if that's all our thoughts before watching, let's get into the spoiler-free review for Michael. Michael. So it released April 24th of 2026, starring Jafar Jackson, directed by Antonian F, rated PG-13. Plot summary: the story of the famous musician Michael Jackson, known as the King of Pop. What are you guys' overall thoughts without any spoilers?
Fuck them for that ending. I'm just saying.
What?
You like the ending?
You wanted to see
No.
him die, man?
I'm just saying that like this was probably one of the most idiotic things they probably would have done.
They're doing it in two
my opinion.
parts.
Are they?
See, I told you,
That's
Jesus,
what
it
I
was a weird
saying
ending.
online.
It's in two parts, yes, and it's fucking stupid. It's beyond stupid, if anything. Honestly,
I don't think that it is gonna be. I
This is
just
It's a
thought
two-parter.
I just assumed that they didn't want to do the sad parts.
No, it even says at the end that
the story
Yeah,
continues.
the story continues. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just assumed they're like, oh yeah, you know the rest.
No, that's not what it is.
We know.
Okay. Well, so it was confirmed.
Let me look it up.
yes,
I wanna verify
haven't-
because this was I was seeing on X, the Everything app. Sometimes people be fibbing there.
Yeah, I was questioning whether or not they were doing a 2-part too. I was like, are they doing a 2-part?
I don't want
'Cause
no
they-
AI overview.
They didn't even do the didn't he have a signature move with him like leaning super far forward? Like they did not show that in this movie. Yeah, they did not show that in this movie.
They
So what
didn't
the
go
hell?
very far into the story. It feels like
I feel like they covered
They didn't even hit the 90s yet.
Well, that's why I feel like they only covered the first half of the movie, like of his life, the Jackson 5 and how he became, because he has way more prosthetic surgery done on him too, doesn't he?
What?
Yes.
Because Because he only has his nose done in just the movie. I thought he gets his like face restructured basically,
Yeah,
and then he
gets
starts
more.
bleaching himself even more.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. I don't think that's. I don't know if he bleaches all the way because I know he has a
Well,
condition.
yeah,
So
I
it's not
know.
like he was trying to bleach himself. He's just trying
No,
to
I
Even
know.
out the skin.
Yeah.
And that's why. But that's what I'm saying. Like I
Yeah,
know
but
he had the condition.
a lot of
But he-
people have the misconception of like he's doing it because he doesn't want to be black anymore or something like that, you know. But no, it was a genuine skin condition.
Yeah, no, because he
Well-
has vitiligo.
Yeah.
Well,
So like it's just I'm trying to get that out there so that when we talk about it, we go in with that understanding.
Like I said, I didn't know he had a skin condition. All I knew when I was younger is he bleached himself. That was it.
So
But
what
now
I'm
Because
you
I
know.
was young.
what I'm seeing for a second film is Lionsgate was gonna play it by ear. If this film did well, they're gonna make a second one. At
So
least
it's not
that's
even-
what USA Today says.
I think the movie will do well enough.
I think it did well enough to make a second one. To be honest.
I don't know if it did well enough. I think it will do well enough.
I know that there was a lot of footage that they cut out from this one, but that's the case with a lot of movies anyway. You get the director's cuts and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so you tell me this movie is supposed to be like 4 hours long then?
That would've
It
been
probably
cool.
would have been, yeah.
Give me more music videos.
Yeah, I mean, I also looked up like when they were in mid movie. I was curious on how many albums he made. How many music albums did he actually make?
From what I heard, after his death, he has enough music to like bring out a whole ton of albums even after his death. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, but there's a lot of unreleased stuff.
There is a lot. Well, I don't know exactly how many he made by himself. Spotify. I mean, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, that's
7,
it's
8.
it's hard for me to trust Spotify. I looked it up too, and I'm like, how many are actually albums? Like all of them seem like one-off songs.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of music out there that's been unreleased by Michael Jackson that they probably will release in due time.
I say there's 10 here looking that while he was alive that were made by himself. 2 of them were, or 3 of them were, 4 of them were when he was a kid though.
Yeah.
So I guess like Michael Jackson as an adult, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That aren't remakes and everything.
That aren't remakes. These are just straight up albums that he dropped in his life as an adult. Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, History, and Invincible.
Yeah.
The self-titled Michael album, I don't know if that came out when he was alive or not.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's why I was trying to listen to all his music while I was like on the car ride home and stuff like that.
He does got good
That's-
songs.
I've never
I'd be
heard his
forgetting, bro.
I've never heard his first album ever, so I was just like playing from that.
You
I
never
feel
heard
like most
Off the
people
Wall?
of our, I'm pretty sure most people of our generation probably haven't heard it.
Off
They
the
only
Wall?
know
I
his
love that
more recent
album.
Stuff. But you're also more of a more into the older stuff. You get
Michael
into it.
Jackson
more.
music.
Like I said, a lot of people from like our generation are probably more familiar with his newer work.
Remember the Michael
Early
Jackson Wii
2000s.
games?
Oh.
I mean, the only one that I remember
Oh yeah, the Just Dance one or whatever.
Yeah, that was sick.
for me, like I said, the only songs that I've ever knew were the ones from his Thriller album. That was it.
That is his biggest one.
Yeah, I mean that's his one that blew up the most. So that's why I've never heard his other ones. That's why I was like, let me listen to Off the Wall. I like looking it up. I thought Off the Wall was his first album, and then there's like 3 or 4 more before that. I was like, what the fuck? Are these his actual albums, or are these just like?
I guess this is
Little-
his first one, like the movie says, fully like independent of his dad.
That's why I was wondering that, because based off the movie, it seemed like that was his first one, and then Thriller, and then you said Dangerous is his next one.
Thriller, Bad, and then Dangerous.
Yeah, you can do.
I wonder why on Spotify it says remastered. Is it
Remastered.
because it? Yeah.
Basically, he has a lot of music.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all yeah.
The album was remastered, but it did come out before Dangerous.
But.
So we talked a lot about his music. What did y'all think about the film without any spoilers?
I like the dramatization. I thought it was very well done. I definitely could see where they definitely were like very careful about, because wasn't wasn't the father significantly more abusive?
Yeah, I think so. I think they try to keep it PG-13.
They definitely did that, yeah, because like based on word of mouth from what I heard, it was significantly worse.
Oh, he has such an abusive father. Being
Yeah.
honest, I don't look up artists like that and their backstory. So
Like I said, I don't either. It's all been word of mouth.
yeah, I haven't heard word of mouth either. Like nothing. I just heard the awful things more, like the corrupt side of it more than that kind of stuff. So
I think
I didn't know you.
I think the movie does a good job of capturing his like you were saying, the family dynamics. They did probably cut a lot out, but I think they still did a good job at portraying that, he didn't come exactly from a stable family.
No.
He came from corn, bro. That's where he came from.
Corn. He was born like an hour and a half away from us, 2 hours.
I know, Indiana got nothing over there too. That's why I said it came from corn. It's just as bad as Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio is pretty bad.
Yeah, that
There's
is.
nothing over there too. Like, who gets excited to go? Are you guys excited to go to Ohio?
Yeah,
or
bro,
what?
I'm a big Browns fan.
Head ass. No, you're not.
That's what I always look forward to when I go there.
I thought you were a big Eagles fan. I remember.
Eagles.
Yeah, I thought you said you loved the Eagles.
I don't think I ever said that.
You're like, fly, bird, fly. Squaw!
Free bird. All right, what do y'all rate this movie out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a. For that ending, I'm giving you a 6-8.
6,
Okay.
8. What
I'm
about
gonna
the
give
rest
it
of
a 7.5.
I'd give it for like a 8.5.
8.5? Okay. I'm going to start with 8.2, and then I'll see how I feel.
Just because this is probably the one of the few artists I actually know
Oh,
more
I mean, it's
about.
purely because that ending that's taking all those points off.
Because I know out of all the biopics we've seen so far, like the Elvis Presley one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say the name. The
Elton John, we
Nope.
did.
Elton John, and then we did the one that was like he got he got HIV or whatever.
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, we did that one. Was there one more, or
yeah,
was that the
Robbie
Elton
Williams with the monkey?
John? Yeah, and out of all of them, I think this has been the most enjoyable one. And this is just because I know a little bit more. Because again, we kind of, I mean, it's a little after our time, but still, we heard more of his stuff than any of the other ones.
Yeah, it is music I was more familiar with, in that regard, but it was still, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think they did. I like the color grading on this film.
Yeah, it was pretty well done. It didn't have that weird. I don't know what to call it. Like, it almost feels metallic. I don't know how to describe the modern day color grading in movies, where everything feels artificial or dark.
There's always some darker lighting in movies these days, like with a
here's
yellow
an example.
tint.
Yeah, here's an example. Look at the first 2 Harry Potter movies. You saw how warm the lighting was and all that, but then in the later movie, the like last movies, they took away all the warm lighting. The color grading was just
Yeah,
meh.
they made it all blue.
Yeah, yeah. Like I understand they also wanted to go for a theme thing here, but like this is pretty common with other movies too. So
You
if you saw
lost
the
me.
trailer for the new trailers for the new Harry Potter TV show, they don't have that warm color grading at all, so it doesn't feel magical even.
Harry Potter fell off. Has anybody watched the new show?
It hasn't come out yet.
Oh.
Oh, I was just about to say that. I was like, I did not think that shit was out.
Not yet, not yet. In
Oh, right. It
Christmas.
comes out Christmas. Yeah.
You lost me with Harry Potter. I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen never seen the movies.
So with that, let's get into the spoiler-filled review of Michael, starting with, in 1966, steelworker Joseph Jackson assembles his 5 sons into the musical band, the Jackson 5, with the youngest, Michael, on lead vocals. After months of grueling rehearsals involving corporal punishment by Joseph, the Jackson 5 perform a gig until they are signed with Motown in 1969. Their album tops the chart, and they sell out concerts across the U.S., allowing them to move from Gary, Indiana, to a mansion in Encino, California. 2 years later, Motown founder Barry Gordon believes Michael has the potential as a solo act. So what did y'all think about the Jackson 5 era in this movie?
So forget that he was in a band, technically. You know?
I was wondering because I didn't know. I knew about the Jackson 5, but I didn't know too much about it. So it was definitely very interesting to see. Um, they did like, and I don't know if this is how it was in the real life or they just dramatized it, but they didn't really even say much. Like, they didn't do much in in this biopic at all. Not even to protect Michael.
Oh, the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
His father's pretty scary, man.
yeah, I was gonna say the
You see-
kids. You know, that's not necessarily their responsibility, although
No, it's not their responsibility. I agree.
Why are you shitting on him, bro?
they are just.
I'm
children.
just saying that I don't know if that's how it was or if that's like an actual retelling of what happened. I don't know if any of them are still alive and kicking.
Yeah, I think his family's still alive.
I think he still has his brothers. They're still alive.
Mm-hmm. And his sisters.
He only has one sister, all right, based off the movie.
Oh, he has
Or does he have-
two. The other one wasn't in it. And I
Oh.
don't really know why.
Like they didn't want to show add the other one in this movie.
Yeah,
Janet?
like Janet didn't want to be in this movie, and I don't really know why.
Wasn't she part of the producing team or some shit? I forget. Like the family was involved in the making of the movie, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so. So I don't know why she elected to not have her character portrayed in it.
That is weird. It's not a faithful biopic without her then.
Yeah, it looks like 3 of the Jacksons are still alive. I think.
Yeah, because Google says Janet Jackson is not featured as a character in the Michael Jackson biopic, according to her sister, Latoya, which was the one we saw in the movie. Janet was asked to be in the movie, but kindly declined.
Huh.
Was the other sister just there for just making him close with the mother? Then what's like?
I guess so, yeah. Playing more of a motherly role.
There's so much. Just like this movie really glosses over like it gives you the good rundown, but it feels like it glosses over a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of life to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
see
you could
that.
see Michael, even as a kid, was a child star. Not necessarily by choice, but he did still have a lot of talent.
It sucked because man, those fucking songs were bangers.
Yeah, A B C.
See?
They were, yeah.
Man, Michael died at the age of 50. That's crazy.
He looked
Oh.
good for 50.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Like I said, he's got 2 other brothers. I think 3 of out of the 5 Jackson brothers are still alive. I think.
I also really liked their 70s costumes that they wore on stage. I thought those were really good.
Oh yeah.
Jackson 5. They had a lot of 70s fashion in this movie.
Mm.
And Michael had the moves even as a kid.
He did, yeah.
So
Did he really learn from the TV?
I
How
don't
many
know.
inaccuracies did you catch, Daddy?
I don't know how many inaccuracies there are, so I just assumed.
There's a TikTok with a guy with his notes app. He had like pages full of mistakes, I guess.
Oh, I didn't catch any of that.
He still gave it a 7.5 though.
Did Michael Jackson learn from the TV? Let's find out.
Yeah, like what? I wonder what he was watching to learn the moves. Like
Yeah.
what?
It says
Well, they
yes.
showed some, but
Well, yeah, they showed some type of guy who was dancing, but what? Like
AI
who
overview
was it?
says he did learn from from television. He didn't have any formal dance lessons. Instead, he studied from television and films how to dance.
Well, that makes sense because his father said they were poor. They were poor people. Remember?
Yeah, so he
From
was
Gary,
probably
Indiana.
watch his favorite movies and just learn the routine that way, self-taught. Really was a legend. So if there's nothing else about the Jackson 5, we can fast forward now.
Yeah.
I will say it's funny how backseat the Jackson 5 felt in this whole movie.
That's what I was trying to say. That they were there, but like at the same time, not really.
Well, it's hard to, share a
Include
screen
them
with
when it's-
Michael because he's such
That's
a
true.
star.
That's true. He was the star. So
Like it's just like I expected more. I mean I haven't looked up any of the Jackson 5 music still, but is Michael the lead singer throughout the whole song?
I think so
Like,
throughout the whole run.
he's been the lead since the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, you could have fooled me. I thought it was all equally distributed.
No,
they-
no, that's not the case.
I thought they all had equal talents in like their vocals, but
The other
Michael
ones
just
are-
had the higher tone. His tone of how he does it is better.
the others were good at playing instruments, though.
Yeah, they were good. Like the background noise, they were good at all the other stuff.
They're good as being band members.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Backup
not as a
singers,
singer.
backup dancers, they were there.
they were there.
So that's kind of. I agree with Alexi. That's kind of how I felt. Like they were there. They really. I don't know what they were
I seen them.
exactly. I seen them.
So, in 1978, Michael signs with Epic Records for his first adult solo album, Off the Wall, with Quincy Jones producing. Despite its success, Michael is held back by Joseph, who believes he is solely responsible for his children's fortunes. Feeling insecure about his appearance and developed vitiligo, Michael undergoes rhinoplasty to make his nose smaller. Following an argument with Joseph, he takes advice from his bodyguard and close friend Bill Bray to create his own path. So he hires an attorney to have him fire Joseph by fax. So
That was funny. I'm sorry, but that was the funniest way to
Alright,
fire
so-
your father. Send him a
Is
fax saying he's fired.
Is this like before or after the meeting with Mike Myers? Because he was in the other biopics too. He was the label guy in those
This
movies
is-
as well.
This is leading up to talking to him, bro, when he fires his dad.
Okay.
This is all of that.
this
Bro,
is.
fax machines are magic, bro. I don't get how they
I-
work.
I was wondering
I know,
that too.
right?
I was like, how did they even print the signature on there? That was crazy.
Isn't it still like a printer still? Like it copies it and then just like sends the sheet out in a
Yeah,
sense
but
like that?
they didn't have Wi-Fi to do it. a
They had
million
landlines.
miles
It's weird
away.
they've had
They had
fax
landlines.
machines since
But it's
Abe
crazy. How
Lincoln's
does that
days.
work?
I mean, landline's connected through the like cell towers and stuff like that. Isn't that the case?
How
Like
does it work, bro? How
The
does it print
crazier
them
part
out,
is
bro?
the fact that they created this back when Abe Lincoln was in power.
Oh.
That's crazy.
It is. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean you guys had a fax machine back then?
You know, that's a great question. I don't know either.
So, yeah, what did y'all think of his off the wall era when he was
I
making
mean-
his first solo album?
I'm sorry, but
I
his
like
I like the little montage they did.
his first song so far is only the one that I like the most.
I like them all.
Yeah, they're all
Bro,
great
you're a
songs.
fake Jackson fan.
Don't stop
Who?
singing, no.
His music is fire.
His music is fire.
I said it from his first album. I'm saying off the wall.
I'm
It's just his
just
first song.
saying, dude, you are a fake fan.
Like I said, I like his second album, the show.
But no, I did enjoy the montage they did there. It was enjoyable to watch. There isn't much to really say, though, unfortunately.
I don't. Around this point of the movie, the only thing I kind of disliked was the monkey.
Oh, Bubbles.
Yeah, I
They
couldn't
had to
tell
include
that
him
was
because
real.
Bubbles, I
He did
guess
have a pet monkey, yeah.
Yeah, but
He
Yeah.
did.
CGI
Yeah.
looks so
Bubbles.
bad.
The CGI
Yeah,
monkey.
It was really bad though.
So bad.
I understand them not wanting to use a real monkey, but it was pretty sloppily done.
So you're
Like,
telling me Michael had actual llama, a giraffe,
yeah, he was
All
rich,
these
man.
exotic-
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
That's
the
crazy.
70s. He could, there wasn't as much restrictions on that kind of thing.
That's crazy though. That's why I was like, damn, he's got all these animals that aren't pets. Remember, they're not pets.
They're
They're
his
They're
friends.
friends. They're friends.
Well, that also
Mhm.
plays into, Michael's trauma. He's trying to cling on to his childhood. You can see it in the way he dresses, the toy he has in his room, the
Well, the way
company
he
that he
just-
keeps in animals.
Yeah,
it's
that's-
just the way the way he just lives his life. Definitely, you can see.
And
that.
he's still trying to like play board games with his family, and they're like, "No, I'm trying to find shit."
Yeah.
I will say, like, I think that was probably a little bit of the agitating part. I'm like, man, this guy's like, well, at that point, Michael's like 20, 22, maybe.
I think so.
I don't like I don't know how old he is at that point, but he's not a kid anymore, and he's acting like a child. I'm like, man, this kind of irks me a little bit.
My question is, I
He
know
was 20.
I know the
20,
voice he
okay.
does overall is not his real voice.
Well, yeah, he pitches it because it's to save his voice for singing.
Yeah, I got that, but like in his day to day, I doubt that he was using his high pitched voice.
I mean, his family worked on the movie, so I'd assume that they'd have say on what he sounded like
I
on the
think
day
he
to day.
was
Right.
dedicated enough to performing that he would just use that voice every day to save his voice for singing.
Also, you gotta think remember his dad owned his ass from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
He was still
Like there were times that I've heard from like other artists in interviews be like, yeah, it was crazy when Michael like dropped like a bunch of octaves to say like the N word or whatever to us.
I think that's more so he just had an expansive range
Yeah.
that he could work with.
He did have
Which-
perfect pitch according to the
which-
movie.
Which that's what made him so well. Like,
Mm.
people picked him up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Off the Wall was an awesome era in terms of the album itself was really good.
And I'd be singing every day if I had his voice.
For real, nonstop, and
Would
his
you be-
moves.
Yeah, his moves are fly. I can't deny that. He got some fly moves. He's better than Elvis Presley with his moves.
Well, that's true. All Elvis did was shake his leg, shake his hips.
And shitting on toilets.
Too. He did do
I
that.
thought he was dying on toilets over here.
What did y'all think when Michael got his nose surgery?
I felt bad.
I actually completely.
I blame his father. I blame his father. His father's the reason why.
Oh yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
a
they said it
gift.
in the movie.
I know. I did not know his father's reason why. He's like, yeah, you need to get that shit fixed. You look hideous. I'm like, bruh. How do you tell your own kid that?
Mhm.
Well, that's how people get body dysmorphia, isn't it? By being constantly told that, oh, you look hideous constantly or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Especially by somebody you look up to.
Hmm.
I wonder if he did. You think he ever actually looked up to his father?
Have you ever what?
Do you think he actually looked up to his father?
Well, that was
I don't think so.
yeah. I guess just the only
No, he
consistent
didn't.
male
I mean,
figure in his
even
life.
as a kid, did you not see he wanted to punt his dad off a fucking cliff into an alligator's mouth?
That was funny. I forgot
The
about
book.
that. Yeah. Oh, and you could also see
So
his.
no, I don't think he ever looked up to his dad.
That
I guess he
reminds.
more so trusted his judgment in terms of what's good for him in the end. I don't know.
Maybe.
At
I
least
mean, his
early on.
dad, his
Early
dad
on.
did, his dad did make him a successful pop star. Because without his dad,
Yeah.
they would never became anything.
Well, according to his dad.
Well, I mean, his dad's the reason what promoted him to do this stuff.
Yeah.
You think he would? You think he would have did it outside of like at a talent show or anything?
I don't know.
He might have pursued it, but maybe not as he might not have gotten as big as he did, but
Uh,
he might
You
have
know-
had a better life.
Yeah, you might have grew up like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's
So
for sure.
yeah, what did y'all think when he fired his dad?
I would said finally.
I still
I
thought it
was
was the
happy
most.
for him. I'm proud.
was-
I was proud of him.
That was the most cop out way to do it. I'll say it like that.
I don't care. He still did it. I'm proud of him.
Well, that's
Well, he didn't do it. That's the funny part.
yeah, that's the theme throughout the movie they keep seeing. He keeps trying to avoid having to confront his father. Yeah.
Which, I mean, at the same time, I don't blame him for it because, I mean, yes, confrontation can be a scary thing. Not everyone can handle it very well, you know? So I don't blame him for that. But still, he still did it in a way that worked for him. And I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. So
I expected him to man up and tell him, "You're done. We don't want you no more." Instead, the scenarios that are gonna possibly happen, we're gonna talk about next. That's on his own accord because he just couldn't, in a sense, man up.
what did y'all think of his security guard?
I loved him, man. I thought he was like that security guard
I
just
thought he
got
was going
so
to end
much
up
fly.
becoming some kind of father figure.
I think he was. I think he was in a sense.
it kind of was, yeah. It's just
It was-
funny, bro. Wore the same hat the whole time.
Oh yeah.
He wear
I
the
did
Like
not
the
know.
hat.
And then he had a funeral version of the hat, or
he loves
He was
that
bald,
hat.
man. Man, he was bald. Okay, you gotta come up the hairline when you have to. It was like wasn't like that the security guard was the bodyguard was the father figure and then the music producer, right?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
were his only real friends.
And the people we looked up to actually learn and actually grow as a person. Felt like people who truly trusted.
So
they were cool.
yeah, they were cool. They were good. They were positive influences. So
Especially his bodyguard, man.
hmm aside from visiting children's hospitals, Michael experiments with ideas for his next album, which is set for release in 1982. After watching a news report of the Crips and Bloods gang war, he hires members of the gangs to appear in his music video for Beat It. Thriller breaks worldwide sales records, while Michael delivers a groundbreaking performance of Billie Jean at Motown 25. Michael heads to New York to ask the CBS Records president, Walter, to get MTV to play Michael's music videos. MTV agrees to give Michael airtime after Walter threatens to pull the CBS Records catalog out of the network.
Hey, the
Right,
white
so
kids
this-
don't.
this-
The white
this is
kids
the
don't
part-
want to see that, bro. The white
This
kids
is
don't
the
want to see that.
part where I'm like, are they trying to create like a movie universe with these guys? Like, I understand it's in real life, but like because they have Michael Meyer playing the same character in like
Oh,
what was the last movie biopic we did? The one with the monkey thing, right?
Oh, Better Man?
Yeah.
a monkey.
Yeah, Better Man, and then in Elvis, we also had him.
Really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, we had Michael Meyer in both of those. I'm like, is he playing the same character or just different characters?
He's the
playing...
immortal music executive.
So I'm just like,
Like Mr. Wonderful.
Are they creating a whole new universe?
Uh,
A biopic verse?
he probably did all the movies at the same day.
Right.
It's the exact same office.
So,
I can see that.
what did y'all think of the shooting of the Beat It music video with the gangs?
I liked it.
I don't know if that's true or not. I couldn't tell if that was just
At
made
this
up.
point, just
Water.
smile and wave. All right.
Smile and wave. Let's see. Let's
Yeah.
look it up.
Because that's real. I'm surprised there wasn't gunshots going off during the production.
I mean, Kendrick did it too, where he had Crips and Bloods on the same stage.
So he copied Michael's thing, if that's the case.
Kind of. I mean, but it's not really a copy. They're just bringing two groups together.
I'm excited to see him do the what's it called? His other. I'm trying to see because I listened to it recently. The one where he goes to a different country, but the country wasn't allowing him to sing there, so the cartel members or the mob all protected him while he was doing it. You know what song I'm talking about, Eddie?
I don't know.
They bring it up in the movie?
Not yet. I think that's the second half. I don't know why it's not showing up on my recent playlists here.
So yeah, Google AI says yes, Michael Jackson brought rival Crips and Blood gangs together for his Beat It music video.
So that's crazy to see. I mean,
they don't really care about us song. You know what I'm talking about now?
Oh yeah. All I want to say is that.
I think that's gonna be in the second half, right?
Yeah, most likely. That's when he had lighter skin.
that's when he basically had to slightly bleach himself to match his skin tone.
Even out his skin. So yeah, he hired around 80 real Los Angeles gang members.
That's cool. I mean, I thought that's kind of cool. I didn't know he did that. That's kind of a crazy thing to do. I will say that. Because one wrong thing, and actually, that place would have been a shooting ground. I'll say it like that.
But it's Michael.
It's Michael Jackson, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Do you think
Even the gangsters were like, "Could I get your autograph?"
Well, yeah, that's what I said. Do you think in real life that's how they actually acted too?
Probably.
Could I get your? Because his family member. Because I know this is all based off what his family members did, in a sense. But do you think his family member actually knew all the scenarios going on?
Well, the driver was with them. Is the driver a real?
Is the bodyguard? The bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was multiple eyewitnesses to it. I believe it.
Like it was a bodyguard. I feel like the bodyguard is the person who's telling Michael's real story. Yeah, Bill, if that's his real name. Telling his real story. Because again, his family isn't with him 90% of the time.
Yeah,
they're at home shooting hoops, living off of Michael's success.
Well, the siblings had their own careers.
What?
They all work.
Yeah, the siblings had their own careers. They just weren't as successful, but they were still fairly successful.
We need a Jackson 5 movie, bro. I need to know what the siblings
What do you think this is essentially?
No, this is a Michael's movie. There's a difference.
You can't have the Jackson 5 without Michael. You get a Michael movie, you get a Jackson 5 movie.
Yeah, but now I need to know what happened to the rest of the
siblings. One in the same.
I need to know what happened with
because
the rest
I
of the
don't believe that the Jackson 5 stayed together after Michael really left, did they?
I need TV shows.
There's not 5 of them anymore.
Well, the reason why it wasn't in Jackson 5 anymore because the older one I thought stayed in Gary, Indiana, didn't he?
He stayed with Motown Records.
Yeah.
He didn't leave. He stayed in, like I said, in Indiana.
So while Michael enjoys his success, Joseph has a meeting with boxing promoter Don King over a proposed Jackson reunion tour in 1984. King offers Joseph a Pepsi sponsorship provided that Michael tours with the Jacksons, to which Michael objects. While the Jacksons film a Pepsi commercial, a spark from the pyrotechnics sets Michael's hair on fire, resulting in third-degree burns and nerve damage. He He and his lawyer sue PepsiCo for the damages, with settlement proceeds going to the burn center where he was treated. So yeah, what did y'all think of that whole tour that he
This
was
is
forced to do?
this is why I say like this is what made me mad about him because the fact he just didn't put his foot down and said no, I ain't doing this shit. This is your problem. Like he just fired his dad, bro, before that scene, and he just like, oh, okay,
You were
dad,
more assertive, though. You got to think it's a personality issue at that point.
His father was also guilting him because he's like, "Come on, this is for your siblings. Don't you want them to be successful too?"
Yeah, in a sense, but that's a them whether they want to pursue it. He also had a lawyer, bro. His lawyer was the one that he should have been going through, like the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's procedures at this point. You don't go straight to the source. You go to the person who's running the source. You know.
Well, it looked like his dad was also putting a big gamble on this because.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because it looked like he was gonna get fucking lit up if he failed to deliver to his partner.
I know. That's what I
I mean,
was.
he was definitely threatened there, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't just me imagining that.
No.
No, the guy felt like a mob boss for a minute. I was like, bro, is he gonna get shut up? That's what we're about to watch.
It was a dangerous situation. So, what did y'all think about Michael getting his hair burned?
Okay, that I never knew about. So that was.
This is where the more plastic surgery start happening, bro.
Is that why he was on drugs until he died?
Yeah,
like
the
via
pain.
overdose.
That is why.
Yeah.
You
I,
think?
Pain
I would
medication.
imagine why. I mean, once you get started, and if you really enjoy it, would you stop?
It's not about enjoyment. It's because there was constant pain. He actually had a medical reason for why he was taking those drugs.
Yeah, Google says Michael Jackson's addiction to painkillers stemmed from severe chronic pain following the 1984 Pepsi commercial accident, which caused the burns on his scalp and reconstructive surgeries.
I would have sued the dad for this one.
Oh, you heard it though. Eddie said reconstructive surgeries. So he's got work done a lot.
You
That
know?
doesn't mean that he doesn't have the chronic pain. There's a reason why he has everything.
Yeah, but like the other surgeries he's done to himself as well. I mean,
Those are
Chris-
afterwards, yes. But that's because his dad wants it all comes back to his dad, dude. His dad was like,
I know.
you
I'm not
gotta
saying
be
his.
perfect.
I know. I'm not saying his dad's not a scumbag, bro. I don't disagree. But like, again, this is where like that's what I said. Like, there's supposed to be procedures in place for this scenario, so shit like that does not happen to you.
This is back in day where they did not have those set procedures.
I guess
They
I
didn't
mean,
they didn't care about safety as much back then.
that's what we need, man. No, I'm talking from the
Everyone was fucking geeked out on stage those days. He was probably one of the few that wasn't geeked out on stage for a while. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So, once Michael recovers, he agrees to tour with his siblings. During the final show, Michael announces it is the last time the Jacksons will be performing together, severing his ties with Joseph. The film cuts to Michael, with visibly lightened skin, performing at Wembley Stadium during the Bad Tour in 1988, teasing a potential continuation.
This I did like, how he stood up there.
Mm-hmm.
Finally had the courage.
It was very nice.
He had the courage to say it, and I'm like, thank God. Thought he was gonna be pushed over his whole life.
Finally put his foot down.
It's a good ending. I will say, like I said, I like how it ended.
No, it is not a good fucking ending.
There's gonna be a part 2 to it. I'm
I don't
excited.
care.
to
I
see
didn't want to fucking.
hope-
I was
I hope
looking
there-
forward.
I
No,
hope there's no part two.
The entire time I was looking forward to that. What's the song I was just talking about? That they don't care about us, and I didn't get the song when I wanted it.
He's got a lot of story to tell, bro. That's why I was questioning if we have any artists in today's and for our generation would be it. Technically, Justin Bieber wouldn't be it for our generation because he's older than us, isn't he?
Not by much.
Maybe
He's
like
32.
I guess like 3 or 4 years older than us.
Yeah, it's not by much.
He's 32. I just looked him up.
Yeah, not by much.
That's more than 4 years older than us.
I thought
You,
said
maybe.
30.
Alexi, I know he's close to your age.
Exactly. And we're in the same generation. We're Gen Z.
You're Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm an elder Gen Z.
No, you're a millennial, bud.
I think you
Good.
are a
97 is
millennial.
You
Gen
give
Z.
off millennial.
They call them zillennials.
Yeah, I'm a zillennial.
No. The millennials can have them. We don't want
I don't want to be millennial either anymore. They whine too much.
You were just whining about this movie, bro.
Because I didn't get the song that I wanted.
You millennials.
I'm happy if they just stop with this movie and that's it.
They at this point they kind of can't, you know.
They've
They
already
need his
said
iconic. They need his iconic lean forward scene. I'm waiting for that, and then I'll be
Michael
okay.
Jackson will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Right. I really don't like how they did it that way. That's so annoying.
Wait, Alexi, you're born in '97.
Yes.
I thought you were born in '96. I thought you were
No.
unk.
No. If I was 96, I would be millennial.
Yeah, you seem like a millennial.
You do.
I got the depression like a millennial though. No.
Whoa. Yeah.
I don't know, man. You just give off hipster with your, man bun and your beard.
Hipster.
My beard.
Millennial
definitely, but that's
hipster, yeah.
my beard. I don't have to sculpt my beard into that hipster shape. It just grows that way. So
You're the millennial hipster, with the scarf and the skinny jeans.
He's a millennial Bill Maher.
fuck the skinny jeans though. My brother he wore skinny jeans. when
Yeah,
he was
he
younger.
has the loosest pants in Atlanta.
Justin Bieber is considered a millennial, so he's not part of our
Yeah, at this
generation.
point. I guess.
The only person that came to mind was like Sabrina Carpenter, maybe.
Billie Eilish.
She might actually have a story, but isn't she a younger generation?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's see. Famous people from Gen Z. Anyway, what do y'all rate this movie out of 10?
I'll go back up. I'll go up to a 7.2.
10.2?
8.5. I said 8.5. I really enjoy this movie.
I'll give it a
I'll-
7.5 because
I'll
I
adjust-
wish they didn't put the little stinger at the end.
The continuation.
Once the second one comes out and we watch it, then I'll give it a proper
I hope
reevaluation.
if they don't come out with the second part, I'll bump it to an 8.
I'm going to give it 8.2.
Yeah, if they don't come out with the second part, though, Lexi's never going to see her favorite song in the big theater.
That's true. We'll leave him hanging. Benson Boone. He's Gen Z. Lil Nas X. Kid Leroy.
What? But are the okay? Kid Leroy, maybe.
Let's see.
So,
Where is another list? That list was very short.
yeah, 'cause it doesn't feel like there's that many artists from our generation that's made it big enough to make an impact.
Gen Z pop stars. Let's see. Ice Spice.
She can't even
Well,
fucking
well.
sing, dude.
Claro's cool.
Shawn Mendes.
I don't know. I don't know
Leve's
why she's so
cool.
popular. She can't fucking
Is
sing.
Leve Gen Z?
I thought so. Maybe she's 30 something.
Ariana Grande. Wait.
That one I could see.
Wait,
The Maria.
she might be right on the edge. I don't know. Of like millennial.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I would have to look up her birth year. So with that, let's roll the credits because I gotta go soon. So, do you guys got any recommendations for any media?
I was watching The Mentalist, so I'd recommend that, I guess. It's
She's
not bad.
32.
What
Yeah,
do you-
she's a millennial.
What do you?
The
So, if you
Mentalist.
guys- yeah, The Mentalist. It's pretty good. I mean, it's more of a background thing for me right now as well, but I'm still enjoying when I do focus on it.
When I do bother to turn my brain on.
Yeah. And I'm finally continuing Futurama because apparently they've added 3 more seasons since I last checked, so there's 13 seasons now.
Damn.
It used to have 10. Now there's 13. So
I watched some of Beef season 2.
Oh hell yeah!
Such
I'm
a
on,
good,
I'm on
such
a
a good
3
show.
win streak right now.
Try not lose.
No, I can't afford to lose right now.
Goated show.
I recommend Michael Jackson's music. It's pretty good. Little
I
known indie
recommend.
star.
Little known indie star. I just recommend One Piece. That's
One
it.
Piece.
Oh, yeah?
Always
One
with
Piece
the
is dope.
One Piece, man.
The Wind of Pisa.
All right.
Pluribus is dope. I rewatched that.
The what? Oh, Pluribus.
Yeah, super good show.
I started rewatching today. Fuck, what is it called? Let me look it up. I'm getting a brain fart. Oh, it's The Sopranos.
Oh, let's go.
I started it back up again
I
today.
saw a clip
Oh,
about that. And
yeah.
it made me interested. Kidding.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I've been finished with it. Super good.
So, the plan for next week, we could either do a streaming movie because the two in theaters are Deep Water and Animal Farm.
Yeah,
And neither of them look really good.
let's do a streaming movie.
All right. We'll do a streaming movie. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for visiting the Sleeping Cinema. Until next time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.